The battle over Willow Creek. I never meant to stir up trouble. All I wanted was to build a modest wooden footbridge over the creek behind my house in Maplewood Estates, a quiet suburb in Franklin, Tennessee. It was a promise I'd made to my late wife, Clara, before she passed, a simple structure to link our backyard to the meadow beyond, a place where we dreamed of evening walks together. But in a neighborhood governed by an HOA, even a heartfelt tribute can spark a war. One neighbor, a woman who fancied herself the gatekeeper of community standards, turned my quiet project into a public spectacle. Her name was Evelyn Harper, and she pushed me to the edge. Let me tell you how it unfolded, and why justice sometimes requires patience and a sharp strategy. My name is James Thornton, a 52-year-old civil engineer who's lived in Maplewood for 2 decades. Clara, my wife of 25 years, died 18 months ago in a car accident on her way to her book club. She was 49, vibrant, the kind of woman who made every room brighter. Her absence left our home silent, her gardening gloves still on the porch where she'd left them. One memory kept me going. Clara's dream of a footbridge over Willow Creek, the narrow waterway that ran through our backyard. She'd sketch it on Napkinsa Cedar Bridge, 10 feet long, with wildflowers along the railings. "We'll cross it every evening, Jim," she'd say, her eyes sparkling. After her death, I vowed to build it, a way to keep her close. I approached the project like any engineer would. I drafted plans, secured permits from Williamson County, and ensured the bridge met environmental standards. It was small, eco-friendly, designed for foot traffic with minimal impact on the creek. I ordered cedar planks from a local mill and cleared the banks for construction. It felt good to have purpose again. Then Evelyn Harper stormed into my life. Evelyn, a 48-year-old real estate agent and self-proclaimed HOA watchdog, appeared one morning as I marked the bridge's foundation with stakes. Her sharp voice cut through the quiet. "Excuse me, Mr. Thornton. I'm Evelyn Harper, HOA Standards Committee Chair. What's this project? You know the creek has strict regulations." Her tailored blazer and clipboard screamed authority, but her smile was all pretense. I explained the memorial, showed her my county permits, and assured her I'd checked the HOA bylaws. She nodded, lips pursed, and said, "We'll see about that. The HOA has rules about creek alterations." She snapped photos and left, her heels clicking with purpose. That evening, an email arrived from Evelyn, titled Notice of Violation, Willow Creek Construction. It claimed my project violated Section 14C of the HOA bylaws, banning structures within 40 feet of water sources without approval. My stomach sank, but my training kicked in. I'd read the HOA's 52-page rulebook cover to cover. There was no Section 14C, and the bylaws stopped at Section 13, covering mailbox designs. Evelyn was bluffing, banking on my compliance. I decided to play smart, gather evidence, and let her overplay her hand. I installed a discreet security camera in a sycamore near the creek, its lens hidden but capable of capturing clear footage day or night. If Evelyn escalated, I'd have proof. The next day, she did. A neon yellow sign appeared near my stakes. Warning: unauthorized construction. Safety hazard. Then she launched a social media campaign on the neighborhood's private forum, posting grainy photos of my materials with captions like, "Who's protecting our creek from this disaster?" Neighbors chimed in, worried about flooding or property values. My friend, Mrs. Larson, showed me the posts. "Jim, is this safe?" she asked, concerned. I fought back with facts. I posted a sign at the site, "Clara's Memorial Bridge fully permitted. Documents available." I created a website with my permits, plans, and a note about Clara's dream. Neighbors responded warmly, some leaving flowers by the sign. Evelyn's campaign faltered, but she wasn't done. My camera caught her at 2 a.m., sneaking onto my property in dark clothes, scattering roofing nails around my materials. Days later, she slashed 3 bags of eco-friendly sealant worth $400, letting rain ruin them. The footage was crystal clear: her face, her deliberate cuts, her smug glance around. She'd crossed into vandalism. I took the evidence to Sheriff Dan Carter, a no-nonsense officer I'd known from community events. He watched the footage, jaw tight. "Jim, this is felony property damage. I can arrest her now." I paused. "Dan, let's give her room to dig deeper. I want her actions undeniable." He nodded. "Keep building, Jim. Call me when she goes too far. I'll be ready." Then came the survey. I'd hired Franklin Land Surveys to assess the creek's soil stability, but they uncovered something bigger, a 1985 survey error. My property line extended 12 feet beyond the recorded boundary straight through Evelyn's prized pergola and herb garden. Her entire outdoor oasis, the backdrop for her garden parties, was on my land. The survey was filed with the county, legally binding. I consulted my attorney, Laura Bennett, who said, "This flips everything. Evelyn's got no standing to challenge you, and she's liable for her encroachments." I held this card close, waiting for the right moment. The final clash came when I rented a compact vibratory roller to level the creek bed. I notified neighbors, attaching permits, and most replied with support. Evelyn, however, went ballistic, posting rants about industrial devastation. On delivery day, as I guided the roller toward the creek, she charged across her yard, live streaming. "This is an outrage," she screamed into her phone. "I'm stopping this environmental travesty." She planted herself in my path, waving her arms. As HOA chair, I order you to stop. Neighbors gathered, drawn by the commotion. Evelyn's performance peaked until Sheriff Carter stepped from his cruiser. The crowd parted. "Mrs. Harper," he said calmly, "you're trespassing and obstructing legal work. Mr. Thornton's permits are valid. You need to leave, or I'll arrest you." Evelyn's face crumpled. "But I'm protecting the neighborhood," she sputtered. Carter was unmoved. "Return to your property. Now." Her live stream captured her defeat as neighbors turned away, her credibility shattered. Evelyn didn't quit. The next day, she called an emergency HOA meeting to propose a $40,000 lawsuit against me for ecological harm. The community center was packed, tension thick. Evelyn's presentation was a frenzy of doctored photos and wild claims, accusing me of ruining the creek. When she finished, I stood. "Before you vote," I said, "let me share something." I projected the survey, showing the corrected boundary slicing through Evelyn's pergola. Gasps filled the room. "Mrs. Harper's been using my land for years," I said. "Her improvements? Unpermitted. My bridge? Fully legal." The room erupted in whispers. Evelyn stammered, "This is a mistake," but the survey was undeniable. I added, "I won't demand she remove her pergola, but consider the facts before spending our money." The vote was unanimous, no lawsuit. Evelyn sat, defeated, as neighbors apologized to me, some praising Clara's bridge. 3 months later, Evelyn's house was for sale. She moved without a word. I finished the bridge cedar, wildflowers, a plaque reading Clara's Path, Forever Loved, 1972 to 2023. It's a neighborhood gem now. Mrs. Larson tends the flowers, and kids cross it to chase fireflies. Every dusk, I sit there, feeling Clara's presence, the peace she always wanted. Evelyn's crusade taught me that bullies thrive on unchecked power, but evidence and resolve can stop them. I don't know where she is now, but I hope she learned not to underestimate a determined neighbor. Clara's bridge stands as proof that love endures, even through chaos. What do you think about this story? Have you faced a bully like Evelyn, in an HOA or elsewhere? Share your thoughts below, especially on how we confront cruelty and injustice. Should we fight fire with fire, or take the high road like I did? Let's hear your stance. This debate needs your voice.